Mum, you're cooking.
Well, it's not every year Nicky gets an A+ for English.
Nicky, the woman who thought a vowel was a small furry animal.
Oh, Mr. Gilbert thought her work was excellent.
Oh, that old lech, what does he know? He spends all the time ogling over the girls and brushing up against them and drooling over them and...
Nicky? Listen, pew face, I worked hard for that A+. Do you know how many times I had to lose this chalk down my cleavage?
It's not fair. I don't get an A+ for showing off bits of my body.
No, word round school is you do it for free.
Oh, come on, you two. We're butlers. How often do we get to be happy? Oh, Nicky, I'm so proud of you. I remember your first day at school. How we both cried, and then you discovered boys, and I discovered daytime TV. You know, one of these days you'll marry one of those boys. Then you'll discover daytime TV.
Mum, is it okay if I have a lie first?
Why not? Give it a try. Here we go. Grubs up. Nicky's not the only one who's been working hard. I actually had to open that tin. Hello, darling.
Pam, I've just heard some bad news on the radio.
Robson and Jerome are making another album?
Nope, it's worse than that. It's Gary, the bloke who owns the shop. He's been killed in a plane crash off the coast of Hawaii.
Hawaii? Oh, I'd love to go to Hawaii.
That's hardly the point. A human life has just been snuffed out. A woman has lost her husband. A child has lost a father. And I've lost someone to pay my wages.
Wages? Oh, you mean that bag of coppers you bring home each week?
Of course, it's nothing compared with what you bring home, like that swine Phoebe you brought back from your mother's. I could end up unemployed. How am I going to pay the bills?
Well, we could always blackmail Mr. Gilbert, the English teacher. I mean, how much is Nicky's honour worth? Not enough. But, Dad, if you lose your job, we'll still love you.
Yes, it's just we might be living with someone else.
Anyway, what am I worrying about? They can't fire me. No, I've got experience. And I've got experience. And, yes, well, experience counts for a lot in the shoe trade.
It's a big help in English classes, too.
You know the thing that really bothers me about all this? Here's a bloke lying dead at the bottom of the ocean, and he never even bothered to come and introduce himself to me.
Well, I bet he's sorry now.
I mean, look, I've worked for this bloke for years, and he never knew I existed. I think I deserve some recognition. Everybody needs a pat on the back now and then.
What about me?
I'm talking about people who work.
Do you think we should send something to the family?
Yeah, how about some scuba gear and a body bag? Now, you're right, though. We should get him something. Something big and expensive.
Oh, I could think of something big and cheap.
I know. A beautiful floral tribute, yeah. A giant slingback made out of roses and lilies.
Oh, Ted, you never even met the man.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? When they see my present, they'll remember Ted Butler.
Oh, well, if you want that, why don't you just send them your socks?
Mum, how do we know this tuna isn't Dad's boss?
We don't. Just eat.
I'm going to call the florist now.
You know, all this talk of death makes me think. I mean, one minute the breadwinner's there, sitting next to you on the sofa, and the next minute he's gone, never to return again. Makes you think. Death isn't all bad, is it? Vicky, the men in this are naked. I tell you, if I see anything like this in your room again, you can kiss it goodbye.
normal?
Not in this house, sweetheart.
Well, I've sent the flowers. I've sent so many flowers, he'll forget all about Gary.
Do you ever think of sending me flowers?
Why would I do that? You're alive. Anyway, they should have been delivered by now, so stay off the phone. The family will probably call any minute. Where are you going?
To phone Mr. Gilbert.
Oh, no, you're not.
But he's promised to get me a GCSE in exchange for 3 minutes of heavy breathing. I think it's a fair deal.
I don't care. The phone is out of bounds.
But, Daddy, this is my education we're talking about. A chance of a qualification. My future could depend on this.
I'm sorry, but the phone is for important business. Like receiving calls from Gary's pathetically grateful family.
What if they don't call?
Oh, they will. For 300 quid, they'd better.
300 quid? Where did you get 300 quid?
Oh, holiday money.
Oh, Ted, how could you? I was going to spend that on clothes. I've seen this lovely tangerine rayon jacket. Single-breasted, pink buttons.
Pam, when the family receive those flowers, they'll be so grateful they'll give me a pay rise. And then you can buy something that covers the whole of your chest. Come on, phone, ring. Hello?
It's the doorbell, Ted.
Well, answer it. I'm on the phone.
Hello. Hey, Ted, did you hear the news about Gary?
Yeah, he's dead. Great tragedy and all that. Yes, just stay away from the phone, right? Hello?
It's the oven timer, Ted.
You've cooked?
No, it's just to remind me to phone for a pizza.
Yes, well, don't use the phone, all right? Because Gary's widow's going to call.
No, she's not. Gary's not dead. We just heard it on the news.
He's alive? Are you sure?
Yeah, he's quite a man, your boss, Ted, a self-made millionaire. He was flying his own jet, the equipment failed, he bailed out and was washed ashore at a topless hula school. Half a dozen scantily clad women made a crib for him out of their grass skirts and nursed him back to health. They think he's a god. So do I.
Isn't that great news, Ted? You've just spent £300 on flowers for a millionaire so your family could starve and your wife could go naked.
Pam, believe me, I'd kill before I'd let you go naked. And no jury would convict me either. Okay, so he's still alive. So, when he sees the flowers, he'll see how much I care, and I'll still get my pay rise. Yes, this'll be the best 300 quid I ever spent.
I don't think he'll see your flowers, Ted. Apparently, the family sent all the flowers to his favourite charities.
Oh, well, I hope they sent some to the poor and stupid home, because that's where we're going to be in a few years' time.
We're not going to live with your mother.
Look on the bright side, Ted. At least Gary's not dead.
Yeah, how selfish. After all the trouble I went to. All I wanted was some recognition. Now, not only is Gary not dead, he still doesn't know I'm alive.
Sometimes at night, I'm not sure if you are either, but then you burp.
Ha, ha, ha. It's like being married to Ken Dodd. Without the looks. Don't you people understand what I'm talking about? I work for a bloke who wouldn't spit on me if he saw me.
Oh, Ted, don't be so hard on yourself. I'm sure he'd spit on you if he saw you.
Oh, yeah. It's all right for you out there on the golf course with Mr. Nat West.
I don't know the man who owns the bank. It's a giant corporation. I'm just a little cog in a big machine.
Nobody knows their boss today, Ted. It doesn't matter.
It matters to me. I'm going to meet my boss. He owes me that. Yeah, I'm going to track Gary down. I'm going to give him 30 days to meet me face to face here in Watford. He's going to shake my hand and say, "Thank you, Ted Butler, well done."
What if he doesn't?
Then I resign.
Is Dad really going to resign?
No, of course not.
He keeps on about it all the time.
Yeah, but when it comes to the crunch, she won't. That's the thing about your father. He's utterly reliable. He never does what he says he's going to do. I won't resign.
Yeah, but he's a proud man.
Of what, dear?
I know. But, in case you're wrong, I've figured out some ways for us to economise. Oddly enough, they all involve Nikki. I say we make a clean break now before we get too attached to her.
Lily? She's my daughter.
She's my sister, but I'm willing to give her up.
All right. Who put this ad in the paper? Cheap, blonde, 16, looks 30, seeks job, absolutely anything considered, no reading or writing, please. Listen, the day I get a job is the day I walk out of this house.
I quite agree, Nikki. I feel the same way.
Daddy's not really going to resign, is he? I mean, it's like you always say. If a man doesn't work, he's no use at all.
Do you think your father doesn't know that? Just don't say anything to anyone about Gary, and I'm sure the whole thing will blow over. As long as no one knows about it, your father will never resign.
Bye-bye, booty boy.
Well, you lot are all very happy. But don't you understand why I'm doing this? I'm doing this for us, the little people. If I can meet my boss, maybe you can meet yours.
I wouldn't want to meet my boss. I steal.
Look, we came to see you leave. Don't let us down.
All right, I'm going. I said I was going. Just hang on a second. Any sign of a rich bloke in the car park, eh? Helicopter, plane, yacht, anything.
Let me check. Eddie, has a rich man arrived yet?
Can't quite hear you, John. Some chap in a balaclava just set off his car along, trying to get in. He's all right. No need to break the window. I've got a coat hanger you can use.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Come on, I've got a permanent facial to do in a few minutes. If you're not going to leave, at least impale yourself on your shoehorn.
All right, I said I'm going, and I will. But let me tell you something before I go, right? I'm not just going to disappear. Oh, no, you'll see me again. Yes. Whenever a difficult customer comes in and shoves a smelly foot under some bloke's nose, I'll be there. Whenever somebody comes in and tries to change a pair of shoes they've been wearing for 3 months, I'll be there. Whenever kids come in and take off their old trainers and try to sneak out wearing new ones, I'll be there. Oh, madam, if ever they make a film, Blancmange Woman, you'll be there. Good day.
Ted, it's 3 in the afternoon. Why don't you get dressed?
What for?
So you look a bit more dignified when you go to beg for your job back.
I can't do that. Do you know what would happen if I went back?
I could start enjoying my days again.
Do you think I like being here with you? Oh, this is hopeless. These job ads, I mean, they all need a degree or computer skills or worse, references. What am I supposed to do? Stoop as low as this? Cheap blonde who can't read and write? Eh? I don't know. Maybe I should have gone into my father's line of work.
Oh, they have mechanical hairs at the dog track now.
Probably just as well. There's nothing quite as undignified as watching a 60-year-old man being chased by greyhounds.
Nikki, Lee, your father just moved. What are you doing?
I'm going to watch the darts.
Excuse me, but it's time for spell the word. During the day, that remote control is mine.
Alrighty, and now for his and hers shower caps. Oh, it's a long one. Spell newspaper.
N-E-U-U-S.
Take me, Trevor. Take me.
Where?
Who's that?
There's Trevor.
Oh, Oh, Trevor.
Who's that?
That's Jade. She's the one with the haunted past.
I thought it was Iris who had the haunted past.
No, that was another programme.
Jade? What's going on?
Who's that?
Darren. He was married to Jade before her operation, but ran off with her mother when she left Trevor, who's the brother of the man who's secretly having an affair with Juliana.
This really is better, Jean.
Who's that?
She's the woman who sells soap. It's an advert. I can't stand this any longer. You've only been home for one day and you're already driving me mad.
Why am I driving you mad? What am I doing? Who's that?
Go back to work.
Who's that?
Hi. We brought you some leftovers. Some samosas and tofu croquettes.
Now, Ted, don't get the wrong idea. We're not doing this because you're out of work or anything. It's just a coincidence. We happen to have made too much food, and you'd be doing us a favour if you took it off our hands. Ah, who are we kidding? It's charity. How's it going, mate? Enjoying your first day on the dole? Oh, that's a nice dressing gown. Unemployment obviously agrees with you, big man.
It all comes down to priorities, really. What's more important, pride or money?
Money. I love it. I love to look at it, be around it and count it. That's why I went into banking. Anyway, I've got a job and you haven't. But don't give up, Ted. There's bound to be plenty of work for a man with your qualifications. Have you ever tried to shoe a horse? Or maybe Euro Disney are looking for a new Goofy.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Do you remember what you did to my privet hedge, Ted?
Yes.
To continue, then, maybe you could get yourself a squeegee and hang around at some traffic lights.
Now, Steve.
Can I just do one more?
OK.
Well, if you get really desperate for food, Ted, you could take up a career as a blood donor. You don't get paid, but they always give you tea and biscuits afterwards.
If you could stagger home without spilling the tea, that would be supper for all of us.
Personally, I admire your conviction, Ted. Now, throughout history, many men considered great in retrospect have had to stand up for their beliefs. Though I don't think any of them were shoe salesmen.
Hi, Mum. We're just going to listen to some CDs.
Hi.
Who's that in the pyjamas? Is that your dad?
Oh, God, no. My dad's in prison. That's my mum's boyfriend.
Actually, maybe Nicky's got a point. If you were in prison, Ted, you know, not only would you be clothed and fed, but you'd also be less of a financial burden on the rest of your family.
What's the penalty for clubbing a yuppie to death with a tofu croquette?
Jude, are there vegetables in this?
Yes, it's a vegetarian recipe.
Oh, sorry, it's just we don't eat vegetables on principle.
What principle's that?
They're disgusting.
Hey, listen, I've just had a brilliant idea. It's a great way of making sure we don't starve.
Which is?
We eat Nicky.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. There's no way I'm doing all that cooking. Anyway, we've got tea and biscuits for supper tomorrow.
Pam, after 16 years of marriage, I don't think I have any blood left to give. I've no choice. I'm going back to work.
Oh, that's wonderful news, Ted. I'll tell you what, I'll bring the kids down tomorrow and you can buy us all lunch. Oh, I love you so much more when you're not at home.
Poor Ted. He really thought he was someone.
Well, we knew he wasn't. Maybe we should have told him.
Do you think we should tell him now?
Yeah. Ted, you're not someone.
But hey, neither are we. We laughed at you, all right, but deep inside, we were all hoping the rich man would turn up. We all felt the same way. We all respect you.
You were right, Eddie. The losers come crawling back after one day.
Well, I can't pretend I don't feel humiliated. But one day I shall die. Then I'll stop feeling humiliated.
Hello, sweetheart. Hi, hi. Oh, we've had a lovely lunch. I was going to bring you a sandwich, but then I thought, why bother?
Oh, this is ugly. Oh, God, this is ugly. Oh, God, this is maybe not so bad.
Well, well, well. He
up to be counted and then sat down again. So, where's your pride now, booty boy?
Ted, is she the one that got wedged in the escalator?
Oh, you must be the wife.
And you must be where they're starving in India.
Oh, here we go, another one. Go on, have a gloat.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I just want to meet Ted Butler and shake his hand.
Oh, yeah? And who are you?
I'm Gary. Gary Patterson. I own this shop.
Well, Gary, Gary? Gary of Gary's Shoes and Accessories for Today's Man and Today's Woman. I'm Ted Butler.
Thanks for your letter. It really affected me. After years of sleeping with beautiful women and living life just for fun, I decided it was time to go back to the trenches and say thanks before I returned to sleeping with beautiful women and living life just for fun.
I'm Pam. I'm his wife.
Pam. If you want to embarrass me, you're succeeding by just being here.
Ted, I want you to know I appreciate what you're doing. One day, I'd like to have you on my yacht. Of course I won't. But the next beautiful girl I go to bed with is dedicated to you.
Could you make it a blonde?
They make life worth living, don't they?
I wouldn't know.
So, how about showing me around?
Yes, of course, Gary. Well, over here in the window you can see some shoes. There's some more shoes here and the E.C. Ugly Mountain. Shoes over here. Let me show you the stockroom. We keep a wide range in there, actually, which we haven't got on display at the moment. But come inside.
He did it. He actually got the owner here.
You should be very proud, kids. There's a very special man in there. And he's actually talking to your father. You see, Daddy does count after all.
15, 20, 25.
We agreed 50, Ted.
And it was worth every penny, Frank. Oh, they really thought you were, Gary.
I've got the child support agency after me. I'll do anything.
30, 35. Just hang on a sec. 40, 45, 50.